Good morning. On behalf of Rosedale United and Leaside United Church here in Toronto, welcome to our children's program. I'm Roberta with our handy-dandy assistant here, Couscous. Good morning, Couscous. We're going to have a great day today as we celebrate John the Baptist baptizing his cousin, Jesus. And we'll talk a little bit about what baptism means. For today, you'll need your Read, Wonder, Listen Bible if you have one. If you don't worry. We'll do the story together. Now, let's begin. Ready, Couscous? Let's go. For today's activity, you'll need the following: a paper cup or plastic cup, some markers or pencil crayons or crayons, a pair of scissors, some tape or some glue, construction paper in a few different colors. I have blue here, but you can use whatever you want. And I have reusable chopsticks here, but you can use disposable chopsticks or popsicle sticks, whatever you have on hand at home. If you're watching live, this is the time to go get the materials before we get started. And if you're watching on YouTube, take a moment to pause the video and get what you need for the craft. Now, we light the Christ candle each week to remind us that the light of God shines inside each and every one of us, just like the light that shines in Jesus and John the Baptist. For today, since we're celebrating the John the Baptist story, I thought it'd be good for us to do a movement that looks a little bit like our baptism in the river. Not everyone gets baptized in a river, but Jesus was baptized in the River Jordan. And so I want us to pretend that we are here in the River Jordan. Let's dip our toe in very carefully. A little bit cold. And one foot in. And let's put the second foot in. And second foot in. It's a little bit cold. Is it moving really fast or moving really slow? Now let's walk a little bit further in. We can't move as much now. It's up to our knees. Oh. I think we get it up to our waists. How are you feeling? Is it moving a lot? Is it pushing you a little bit? Maybe it's pulling you the one way or pulling you the other way. And then we are going to go jump up and down into the river. Some people like to crawl into a river nice and slow, but we do not have that time. We're ready? Plug your nose, deep breath, and jump. Very good. Nicely done. I think we are ready to begin our story. Let's begin. You might remember John the Baptist. He is the son of Elizabeth, and Elizabeth is the cousin of Mary, and Mary is the mother of Jesus. They both had their children around the same time, and this story takes place many years after, when both John and Jesus are grown adults. All his life, John felt and saw things other people didn't. The first time John met Jesus, neither one was born yet. They were still growing inside their mothers. But even then, John could sense Jesus was special, and he jumped for joy. When John grew up, he went out into the desert. He stayed there for a long time, and when he came back, he was changed. It was as if the sand and the wind had scoured all the softness out of him. He could see and feel all that was wrong with the world. This made him angry, hungry for justice. Like the prophets, John brought a message. But his pictures were not pretty. He told his people they were like trees, sick trees and wormy fruit, fit to be chopped down. "Get ready," howled John. "God is coming. Change your ways. If you have 2 coats, give one away. Share your food with the hungry. Look around and see what you can do to make the world better for everyone. Then you will be like healthy trees and with green leaves and juicy fruit. Some people found John scary. Some laughed at him. But others knew they needed to change and longed for a fresh start. So they went down to the Jordan River, and John dunked them under the water. When they came up again, they were different, clean, new, ready to begin again. One day Jesus came to the river. He wanted to be baptized, but John thought that this was wrong. Why should Jesus change his ways? He wanted Jesus to baptize him, but Jesus insisted. When they came up out of the dark water, dazzled by sunlight and whispers and fluttering wings, they heard a voice say, "This is my dear child. He is everything a human should be. I am delighted with him." And to Jesus alone, the whispered words, "You are my son, my beloved." Once again, John sensed who Jesus was. Maybe he even jumped for joy. There are a lot of symbols in this story. Not everything here means just one thing. John talked about how people are like trees, Jesus being dunked in a river, and the Spirit landing on Jesus like a dove, all meaning different things. But they all come back to the most important meaning. God is here with us, constantly involved in our lives, and calls us to be there for others. For today's craft, we are going to use our paper or plastic cup to tell the story of Jesus' baptism. And it's quite simple, though you do need a grown-up for a couple of steps. Starting with taking your paper or plastic cup, turning it upside down, and using your scissors to poke a hole into the top of the cup that can fit either your popsicle sticks or your chopsticks through. Just like that. And then it's a little bit squeaky, but you can see that the popsicle stick or the chopstick, it'll poke through like this. If you keep poking it through, it'll stop squeaking as much as well. There. Now we're going to decorate our paper cup here. And we're making this the scene of Jesus' baptism. So the bottom will be the water that Jesus is in. And then on our stick, we're going to have a little paper Jesus that will come in and out of the water, like so. I think we have our handy dandy assistant here, Couscous, who wants to know what all that squeaking's about. I think we'll show her in a minute. For now, let's decorate our paper cup. I'm going to use the blue, and we are not using any math or measuring at all. So if we just wrap it around, yeah, let's say this much water. We just cut along. And then tape it around our paper cup. So we have some blue on our cup to represent the water, and I want to add a few more details in here. So we're going to use our markers. I'm going to use a darker blue and add some bubbles and other lines to make it look like a flowing river. And what I might do is I have some yellow. If I could draw like a little sunset here, or sunrise. And just color all that in. What do you think, Couscous? What does it need? Do you think it needs some birds? I think it needs some birds. And so in the distance, we're going to add birds. And birds are very simple. All you do is draw an M. One there. Sort of like a M with the side sticks cut off. There. Little flock of birds in the distance. What do you think, Couscous? How's this look? You're right. I think it's missing. It's Jesus. Now, the plan for the Jesus is pretty simple. I have this yellow construction paper that I can use, and you can use any color you want. You can use, if you have a picture of Jesus that you found on the internet you want to use, that's okay as well. We're just going to cut out a little Jesus here out of some yellow construction paper, one that can be taped onto a chopstick. Now, as you have seen from my earlier crafts, I might not be the best artist, but that is okay. None of these crafts are about being the best artist. They're about just doing your best. So, I have a pencil, and then later on I could cover it with marker. Thank you, Couscous. Couscous, are you letting our friends see what we're doing here? And that will be our Jesus. Like I said, it's not the best drawing, but it's my drawing, and so it'll do the trick. What do you think, Couscous? Thank you for your input. I'm going to color this in marker, and then I'm going to cut it out, and we could tape it onto our chopstick. There we go. Next, what we do is we put it all together. Take our cup, stick it in, and then we tape our little Jesus to our stick. So you might want to do that from the back. There we go. And now we have our Jesus that goes into the water and comes out of the water. Ta-da! Now, baptism is supposed to be a symbol, right? It's not so much about the dunking in water or having water sprinkled on you. That's important, but it means something super special. Doing it when we get baptized or when we're at a church and we say our baptism vows, our baptism promises, they mean something. They're a symbol. They're a chance for us to say what we believe or what our parents or grandparents believe and what we're going to do. In this case, it means that we believe in Jesus, who was baptized too. And we promise to follow Jesus when he tells us to love others and helps us serve others and remember that we're important. That's not the only time that we do something that means a symbol, right? If you've been to Boy Scouts or Girl Guides or Sparks and you have to raise your hand and you have to make a promise to serve others and be kind to others, that's a symbol too. Or if you've ever been to a wedding or you see a wedding and the bride and the groom, they share rings and they promise to love each other, and the two people up front, they promise to always put each other first. Those are filled with symbols as well. Or if you're with your friends and you make a special promise, when you take your pinkies, you do this, that's a pinky promise. Those are all symbols. that talk about the importance of how much we love people. And it's not just that we say it, we do something that shows it. In this case, it's a baptism. And the bird representing the dove of the Holy Spirit descends upon Jesus. We're gonna have the Holy Spirit taped right here. So I just have it right here, and then we're good. And here we have our final picture, our final craft. Jesus in the water for his baptism, and the Spirit there like a dove. What do you think, Couscous? I like it too, and I want to see what yours are, kids. If you want to send us a picture or show us what you have, I'm sure that it is perfect and lovely.
And so, let us give thanks to the God who shows us in big messages and small symbols that we are all beloved. We'll see you next week.